guys, it's Riley, and tonight I am packing a bag for Buffalo Exchange and Crossroads because I'm going tomorrow to sell them clothes, and I don't think I'll have time tomorrow to at least film what I'm packing. I would just have to pack the bag and go. So I decided to put up with unfortunate lighting so I could show you guys what they're taking. If you're a longtime viewer of my channel, you know I did this series years ago where I took things from the bins to Plato's closet and I'd show you what they accepted and rejected. So that is what I'm doing today, except I'm taking stuff that I've sourced all over the place, driving it into Chicago and selling it at Buffalo Exchange and Crossroads. I live in the Chicago suburbs. We don't have those in the suburbs, so I have to drive into the city to sell. I'm gonna show you guys the items I'm taking them, and I will put a check mark or an X mark for whether they accepted or rejected. Now, Crossroads gives you an itemized receipt if you ask for one. So fingers crossed I asked for one because last time I forgot. So it will show me on that receipt what they paid me per item. I make 50% of that because I take in-store credit, which I then use to buy higher end inventory to resell on Poshmark. So I could be buying from them a Reformation dress for $48, but I have so much in credit. And after I calculate how much I spent on the goods I take to them, that cost goes from probably about $48 to $12 is right now my average cost of goods for these higher end stores. So you will not see a haul in this video unless I only end up grabbing about one or two items from the stores to resell on Poshmark. I actually do a different series on my channel where I haul the items that I picked up from these stores and I post them on a delay a few months later, so you can actually see sold comps if I sold those items. I'd say more than 50% of them sell. So you can see what is selling for high dollars, usually above $50 that I'm picking up from these stores. Those videos are just on my channel, not on a playlist. You just have to search for them. That was a very long intro, and I just realized I didn't tell you Buffalo Exchange, I also take the 50%. They don't give me an itemized receipt. So if Buffalo Exchange bought the item from me, it will say Buffalo Exchange with a check mark. If Crossroads bought the item from me, it will say check mark with the amount I got paid out in store credit. So if they bought it for $18, I got $9. So it'll be check mark $9 because that is how much I got paid out. And then at the end of the video, I will tell you my total amount of payout. So let's just get into packing this bag. Normally when I go to sell stuff, I take 2 or 3 bags, reusable bags, a big Panera one and sometimes some smaller ones. I'm only taking one today because I want to see if I only bring them one bag, if they buy more of the stuff that's in the one bag, because I've had experiences with that selling to Once Upon a Child, where I take them less stuff and they actually buy more. So let's just pack this one big Panera bag together. I know I should button this down all the way, but I'm not going to. With 2 buttons, I feel like they get the feel. So I grabbed this at the bins. This is a total experimental piece. I feel like I would totally see this shopping at these stores, but I don't know if they'd actually buy it from me. It is vintage Sonoma, and it is flannel with hearts, and Goodwill wanted $6. I actually got this at the bins where a lot of this stuff will be coming from. Oh no. Of course, Goodwill tag kind of put a hole in it, but oh well. So this is going on the very bottom of my bag. Also, you might say this is out of season as we are in June. So 90% of the time they tell me they only buy in season styles, and that's what I've always gone off of. Last time I went to Buffalo Exchange, only Buffalo Exchange, and I said it was maybe the beginning of May or end of April. It was probably the end of April, and I was like, are you guys buying for summer yet? And they said, well, we buy the best of all seasons year round. And I was like, please don't turn into Plato's closet. Just tell me what I need to bring in, because if I bring in my best sweaters, I know you're not gonna buy them. So is this fall, is this summer? Will they buy it in summer or fall? I don't know. I grabbed this at the bins. It is an Anthropologie Pure Plus Good. I don't know if they still carry this line. Little sweater. And this is not a style that I feel like they'll buy from me, but it is a style I wouldn't be surprised to see in the store, especially if they realize it's Anthropologie. It's also a little bit pilled. I don't want to sell it myself because it's a little bit pilled, and it's just like a basic Anthro piece, which does not do well anymore. So we'll see if they want it. Honestly, if they don't, I'll probably just redonate it because of the pilling. I don't recommend taking buy sell trade store stuff in bad condition. That is just still wearable. It deters me from selling it because it's a pretty basic piece. If it was a higher end piece, I'd just spend the time detailing it. This was actually mine. I picked it up at last chance for myself. This brand is Cross Colors. I've tried to sell it on Poshmark. It has not sold for me. It was like sold at Nordstrom. I don't know how. I would not recommend picking this up. I think it's like a cute trendy style they might like. A different location has passed on it. It's interesting because I feel like, oh, I just realized I had stuff on the cuff. Dang it, I washed this. How did that get there? I picked this up thinking it was the brand Free Fly, and only until after I photographed it, yes, I think I had already photographed it, I realized it in fact said Freely, not Free Fly. Free Fly is an athleisure brand that does like bamboo stuff. They have an okay resale, like if you get it cheap. So this, however, retailed for like $40. I think it's cute. It's a cute color, cute cut, athletic. I'd rather not try to spend my time selling a $40 retail jacket that doesn't have a great following. I think it's actually like a Midwest, kind of like Dick's Sporting Goods type store, their athleisure line. Anyway, they say they don't buy based off a brand. They say they buy based off a style. So we'll see if this is something they want. And I paid like $4 for it. No, wait. I definitely paid more than that. I probably paid like $6 or something. So let's hope I can get my money back in credit to spend on something better. I have taken them one of these Free People shirts before this. I mean, this exact same one. And they purchased it. I just don't think it's a cute style, but they bought it. So I bought another one to take to them. It is, yeah, Free People. I mean, I'll list it if they don't take it, but let's hope they take it. Okay, I grabbed this at Goodwill on sale. It's a vintage dress, and the brand is not notable. I never really know what they're looking for in their 90s Y2K pieces. Sometimes they buy them and sometimes they don't. So I figured I'd experiment with this piece. So I took a different location, this skirt last time, and they passed. I think it's adorable. It's a Topshop. I had two of them. They have purchased one of them from me in the past. This one they've rejected. I've had them listed for a few years now with no interest. I have a very hard time selling Topshop. So let's hope they buy it this time. I'm gonna stop saying like, let's hope they buy it, because that's obviously the hope. Okay, this is another stale inventory item from me. I could probably relist it and try to do better. Again, another vintage piece, unnotable. I thought it was cute, little romper. So hopefully, no, I'm not saying that. This is a piece I think they might purchase. I should say, like, Plato's closets don't really do vintage. Crossroads and Buffalo Exchange like vintage pieces, especially very on trend vintage. And I wonder if Plato's will start transitioning to that, as like the Y2K is very trendy, but maybe they'll still stick to fast fashion Y2K. I do like that I can pick up vintage and take it to Buffalo Exchange and Crossroads, because I don't love selling vintage myself. So I grabbed this at the bins. I was there with my friend Carrie, who is also a reseller, and she told me this is just like a fast fashion brand. I should probably look it up just to make sure I'm not sending them something good, but it feels fast fashion-y. It is an XXL jumpsuit, but I thought, like, they don't buy Shein and Forever 21. They'll occasionally buy like Princess Polly and Fashion Nova and Zara. I'd say Zara more so. But very cute, trendy, no-name fashion brands, I do see more than those other ones that are known for being fast fashion. So if they buy this, I feel like they might price it at 18, so I'd get 9, and it came from the bins. I am gonna set this right here though, just to look up to make sure I'm not sending them anything amazing. And I should say, I don't really have a method when packing my bags anymore. If I have two very similar items, I probably won't put them next to each other. So if they're going through, I'll show you an example in a second. They're not like, oh, we just bought one from here, let's not buy another one. I want them to get to it a little bit later. But that's probably the only thing I'm doing right now specifically. So this came from the bins, Collision. I forgot where it's sold. There was actually a decent amount of it in the bins in the one spot I was going through, and it was actually men's and women's, but this was the only one in decent condition. Actually, this is in very good condition, and it definitely looks like a style they would buy. Okay, so this is what I just meant. So these are both Hawaiian print shirts, pretty similar, both vintage. So I'm not gonna put them next to each other in the bag. Hopefully June, they're looking for Hawaiian print shirts. This is Liz Claiborne. Hawaiian print blouse. They have been rejected on before, but I will say different store and also spring. So I was hoping that they'd be buying them since it was spring, but maybe now in summer they'll be buying them. This is the other one I'm gonna put higher up in the bag. It is another vintage brand, doesn't matter to me. This one actually has shoulder pads, like more Hawaiian print shirt. And I do think both of these were women's. This also got passed on, and it was in my last video. It is, the tag is cut out, but it is a mesh dress. Maybe they didn't buy it because the tag was cut out, but they do buy stuff without sizes, and it seems like a piece they would buy. I mean, I guess maybe more of a fall winter piece. We'll see if this location wants it. Also, I just realized, wait, is it a dress? Yes, no. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. This whole time I thought it was a dress. It's actually like a layer, it's a jacket. It opens in the front. Okay. Not a dress. I would love to sell this, but I can't. I don't think this will sell for me on Poshmark, maybe on Depop. It is vintage Chico's. I think it's a very trendy style. This looks like something Everlane would do. And so I hope they'll buy. No, don't say that. I bought this because I thought they would buy it. I don't know if they will. This is a stale inventory item for me. It is Esther the Label. So what I've noticed is I do have luck with their blouse or their dresses. I don't have luck with their blouses. However, buy-sell trade stores do like to buy their blouses from me. So hopefully they'll buy this stale inventory item from me. I probably paid $2 to $3 for this. This is another like Nordstrom Rack brand. It is Vera Moda, right? Vera Moda. I don't pick this up to resell. They have purchased it from me before, the brand. So it's like a little tie front blouse. And this is what I mean by like not name brand fast fashion. So this is like a fast fashion Nordstrom Rack piece. They do buy this stuff. If this had the Forever 21 label on it, they would not purchase this. This is, again, the brand I cannot sell, Topshop. A Topshop blouse of some sort, one shoulder strappy. It's satin. Satin's in style right now. It's got a unique cut, so I figured I would try it out with them. And they have bought Topshop from me, and they have passed on Topshop. This is the brand Brixton. I think it's sold on Revolve and at Nordstrom. These are shorts. I checked, and they're doing okay, but I figured if buy-sell trade wants to buy them from me and pay me $8, that would make me very happy, so I don't have to go through any work to make an $8 profit myself. This is a piece I was so surprised. One of the locations I'm not going to tomorrow, they passed on this. It is a Y2K piece. Again, brand doesn't matter. I was floored. I couldn't believe they passed on this. So if this gets passed on by the 2 stores I'm going to tomorrow, I will just be shocked. This definitely leans more Buffalo Exchange to me than Crossroads, but I could see either of them buying it. I picked this up as an experiment, first for myself, and then I was like, wait, let's see if buy-sell trade buys it, and if they don't, then I'll list it myself and see if it sells. So it is Windsor, which I'm sure you're familiar, is a fast fashion, kind of like more formal cocktail wear brand. So I was like, I've never tried to sell Windsor, I don't think, ever. I was like, I wonder if it sells. When I was at the bins, I was like, this is a relatively cute style. I'll pick it up and see if it sells. And I was like, you know what? If buy-sell trade wants to buy it and pay me $8, I'd rather do that. Goodwill had it priced at $7 and never sold. This was from the bins. Carrie gave this to me. It's a Madewell tee. I didn't look comps, but I don't think this will be worth selling myself. And if they buy it from me, I would assume I'd get at least $6 from Crossroads, maybe more like $7, which is probably about what I could profit on Poshmark after however long it takes to sell and doing all the work. I got these Everlane jeans in a Helps You Source box. They had holes in the butt. I repaired the holes in the butt, it still makes me uncomfortable selling them online. So I'm going to take them to buy, sell, trade to see if they want them, because if they do buy them, that gives somebody the opportunity to try them on and see the flaws in person, or I should say the repair, to decide if that's what they want. And that's all if they buy it, because I have passed on these before. These are a men's relaxed straight fit organic cotton. They have bought Everlane from me though, so I'd love it if they bought these, because I paid $9 per pair, and that box had a very high flaw rate. I actually didn't even end up posting it. I was so frustrated with the box. I needed to go through everything, and after photographing and listing, to make sure I got all the flaws, and by that time the box was sold out on Helpsy Source. But all that being said, I don't have plans to buy another Everlane Helpsy Source box, because I haven't been super happy with the last. I was not happy with the last one I got. This is another item that's been passed on by a different location. It is Offline by Aerie, and I actually don't see them buy a lot of American Eagle or Aerie brands, but I thought this was a cute piece, and I will sell it if it gets passed on a couple more times. I do take them things a few times, because different buyers buy different things and seasons and styles and whatever. This I grabbed out of a bin. It is H&M. Again, they do buy H&M, especially cute styles. To me, this is a cute style, a midi dress. I think it's on trend. It was $7 at Goodwill. I grabbed it at the bins. Also grabbed this at the bins, Urban Outfitters. It's a thermal exposed seam shirt. Goodwill wanted $7, it never sold. This is another Offline Aerie piece. I'm not going to show you the tag. It's the exact same one. This I grabbed at the bins, and it is a skirt, not a skort. Again, I really don't know if they would buy this, but I'd rather them buy it from me than me list it and make a $7 profit. I'm not against a $7 profit, but if I can get $7 from them to go buy a Reformation dress, I'd rather do that. This is a new Lulu's tag. This is just a gauzy, plain, cropped blouse. I don't know. Like, I could either see them never buying this from me or buying it. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, I'm shopping and I see this there, but if I take it to them, they don't buy it. I do know that they don't like to buy basics, and I feel like this could be considered a basic. But again, it's a good summer piece. Okay, so this is something I bought for myself to resell, and I went to photograph it and realized it was flawed. I didn't know it was flawed until I was under my beautiful natural lighting to photograph. So this is a good brand, sold on Revolve. It is Cotton Citizen. There's another brand that's not good, that's pretty similar name. Anyway, this is a tie-dye ribbed dress, and I went to photograph it and realized, when I went to photograph it, I realized it has some yellow marks that I thought was part of the tie-dye, but then when I looked at the whole dress in bright light, I realized it's not. And I think it's still totally wearable. I just don't want to sell it that way. So I'm going to take it to them and see if they want it. I'd be super surprised if they didn't grab this Urban Outfitters mesh tank. I grabbed this at Goodwill for like $2. And if they buy it from me, I would expect like $6. So these are tiny flips, but I mean, I don't care. Okay, this also came from Goodwill. I think I actually paid $4 for this, so this was a more expensive piece for me to take to them to flip, because again, I think this would be like a $7 or $8 payout from them, probably more like $7.25. Sorry, did I tell you what it is? It's Zara. I don't really like selling Zara anymore. I will sell more substantial pieces, but something like this, where I feel like I once could have gotten like $18, I feel like I'll sit on to never sell. So we'll see if they want this. I took this to them, they passed on it. I think it was in winter, and also the tag had some discoloration, so I washed it. It is also Zara. It is a men's tropical shirt. So if they don't want this, and I mean, we're finally in the right season for it. I say that because I think I picked it up in like November. I'll probably list it myself. As I just said, I don't like selling Zara, but I mean, they don't buy it in June, then I don't think they'll buy it from me ever. Also came from the bins. This is a PacSun brand, P-A-C, Pac, I forgot what it says underneath. They don't buy a whole lot of surf brands. That's more Plato's thing, but I will try it out. This is actually a Target brand. I'm sure you're familiar with if you're a Target shopper. Stars Above, oh my gosh. This is like their intimates pajama line. I was hoping this even was a no-name fashion brand when I found it in the bins, because Look at how adorable. I feel like this is so on trend. It's obviously like a nightgown because that's what they sell, but I feel like some girl, trendy girl, would totally wear this as just a going out dress. Grabbed these at the bins. They're from Tinseltown, which is a junior's brand. I can tell because the size is a 3. Normally I would totally pass on these, but they're butterfly printed all over with a flare leg, and I was like, I gotta try them because these are definitely what they're looking to buy right now. It's just maybe the juniors brand will be, they won't buy it for me. If it was Urban Outfitters 100%, they'd probably give me $10. I've seen them buy Kappa and I've seen them priced at high. I don't like Kappa. I think it's so ugly, and I have one piece that I should actually get out of my inventory and see if they want it. If they buy this piece, I'm totally taking them, just like the t-shirt I have. This is a no-name brand. I grabbed it out of the bins. I thought it was Shein. It is a tweed metallic dress. It's not Shein. The tag sure looks like Shein. It's zesty. So again, not sometimes. I've actually sold them Shein and they've ripped out the tags when they wanted a piece that was Shein, and they didn't want it to say Shein. I don't know if they'll take this. This is a very hit or miss. If not, I'll get a little bag together of all the stuff they've been passing on and take it to Plato's where they love Shein, even though it's not Shein. This I grabbed out of the bins. It is very old Banana Republic men's. It gives me Tommy Bahama vibes. It's got this like stitching in the front. Goodwill wanted $6. It never sold. I feel like the right person could get a decent amount for this online, maybe on Depop or maybe even eBay. Maybe on Poshmark, which is where I sell all my stuff. Oh, dang it, the thing is stuck in here. This is probably from like 2005. Wait, they have date codes. Wait, I think it might say summer 05. That's amazing. I said 05, right? Proud of myself. Okay, well, I hope they buy this. If they don't, if I can't get them to buy it, I'm going to list this because I think it's amazing. I grabbed this at the bins, not knowing if they would buy it or not. It's just like a little knit vintage sweater. I don't like pieces like this. I'm never sure if they'll buy or not, but I want to try it out. Grabbed this at the bins. Once upon a time, I would have loved to sell this little Tommy crop top myself, and I do think it is vintage. It's got that tag. It says Tommy jeans on the back. I feel like, I mean, I just don't have a lot of luck selling Tommy Hilfiger, so I would rather take this to them, and I think that they'll probably sell this in like a day, where I would sit on it all summer and never sell it. This is from the brand Lost Plus Wander. It is like a boutique brand. It's definitely sold at Nordstrom. It might be sold on Revolve. I don't have luck with it, and that's their dresses. And I definitely, this reminds me of Aster the Label, where if I don't have luck with their dresses, I definitely don't think I'll have luck with their tops. It's really cute. I was actually looking at it like, would I wear this myself? I don't think I would. So I'm taking this to them because I have a Lost Plus Wander dress I'm sitting on. So I'm just not gonna list the shirt. Another bins pickup, Ben Sherman. Don't know much about this brand. I don't think it's worth reselling, but it's a fish print shirt. And I was like, I hope Buy Sell Trade wants a fish print shirt. I'm not so good about what they want with men's. I feel like they don't want button downs. So I always think to myself like, oh, I'm gonna go through the men's and see what they're picking up. I do that, and then I just like forget it all. So I don't know what I should be picking up in men's to take them. This I picked up to take them. It is Intimately Free People, which is not my favorite Free People line. They only buy bodysuits if they're new. And so they've always passed on my used bodysuits. They have purchased Free People Intimately bodysuits from me when they have this liner. So I'm hoping this is a style they want and it's new. I grabbed these clogs at the bins. They had no branding. They just say size 37. So I could not look them up. I mean, I probably could still sell them on Poshmark and just sell them as unbranded clogs because these are popular. But I just have so much to do right now. The last thing I need to do is try to sell an unbranded pair of shoes that I think Buy Sell Trade will purchase from me and price well. I grabbed these at the bins to take to them because they give Buffalo Exchange vibes. Maybe Crossroads. It depends who's buying at Crossroads. They are from no brand. There's no brand in there. I hope there's a size. I didn't check that. Oh my gosh, is there no size? Well, Oh no, there is 35. It's on the bottom. They're small size. These are just like a style-based thing. I think they'll buy. I'd be surprised if they didn't. That is my bag because this video is 3 times longer than I wanted it to be. So I'm just gonna clock out here. I feel like this is not the best bag I've ever packed. So I'm not gonna get as much as I normally do. I normally get like, and then take them more stuff than this. Usually take them 2 to 3 bags, and I get like 200 from Crossroads and maybe like 90 bucks from Buffalo Exchange. For some reason, I'm feeling like I packed a bad bag today, but we are going to check in now with how much I made. Okay guys, I'm back from selling clothes. It is the next day and that was a long trip. We probably got there around 12 p.m. and it is now like a little after 4. Traffic was awful, over an hour driving home, but that doesn't matter. You're here to hear the amount I made. So this is my itemized receipt. The cashier, actually, I had a bad experience. They seemed kind of annoyed to print this out for me, but I didn't care. I was getting it so I could share with you. However, that's not what was annoying. They rang up my purchases, which, as I said, my haul will be a separate video. You guys will probably see more towards July, August, after I give the items a few months to sell. Anyway, the cashier rang up like my 10 items maybe. Let's see if it says on my receipt how many I purchased. 9, 10, 11, 12. I bought 12 things. I went up with my stuff, my 12 items, and I was like, you know, I also, before, like setting my things down, I was like, I also sold. And I'm using my trading credit for this purchase. And then they, you know, rang everything up and the line was really long. It is a slow checkout process, unfortunately. For some reason, they don't go fast. I mean, they have to take off security tags and stuff. Doesn't matter. There was a long line forming behind me. So they rang up my 12 items. I say they because I'm not sure of their pronouns. They rang up my items, applied my trade, and I was like, oh, I also have my trade card for whatever this doesn't cover, because that's the way they do it. And they're like, oh, I actually can't put in your trade card. I can't use your trade card, and I will like have to re-ring everything up. I'm supposed to use the trade card first. I'm like, this has never happened to me before. And I just like, the line was so long, I was like, whatever, I'll put it on my card. It was $50 that my trade did not cover of the stuff I was purchasing. And I had $400 before this trade on my trade card that I would like to use, because that's paid $50, and they didn't want to re-ring everything back up because of the long line. And they're like, oh, can you like just charge it? I'm like, that's $50. And in the moment I was annoyed, but I was like, whatever, the line is long. And I paid $50, but I have $400. This whole haul should have been free to me, and not free, but like I had the credit to cover it. And it's just because they didn't want to re-ring up the items because of their mistake, and a mistake that I've never encountered before. That's literally how Buffalo does it. I told them, I'm like, I have a trade and I also have my trade card to cover what it doesn't cover. No problems. Never experienced this problem before. And an employee at the store should not be like, well, can you just pay $50 so I don't have to fix my mistake? So I'm really annoyed about that. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal, but you know, it would have been a great trip if that had not happened. It's just more the annoyance and the $50. It's not like it was $7 that I would have been fine with. It was $50 that I could have had covered free, not paid any money to them. So I'm super annoyed about that, but that's not going to stop me from going to that location, because I like the girl who did my buy. She knows me. Like, I don't even go in that often. Every other month or so, she's like, oh, I've done your buy before, you bring in good stuff. I'm like, thank you. So all that complaining aside, hopefully that never happens again. I will make it very clear when I go up to the register next time I did a trade and I have a trade card. But that was just my little rant, which if you watch the haul, you'll probably hear again, or I'll just insert this rant. So, rant over. I got my itemized receipt, which they were also annoyed about printing out for me. And so, as you can see, they tell me what they brought in, a little nice description. So the first one, women's Aster the Label pink floral shirt. They priced it at $18.50, so I got $9.25 for that, which was a stale inventory item, so that's great. Also, there's a few on the sheet that they brought in as well. So happy to have this so I can provide you information. Buffalo Exchange only brought in a few items from me, which I'm not surprised about because Crossroads took a lot of stuff. Crossroads took about half of the Panera bag. I have it right here, which is why I'm motioning. They took about half of the Panera bag full, and that made me super happy. I'd rather sell to Crossroads because their pricing's more consistent. I prefer shopping there, so I'd rather have the credit there. Buffalo Exchange is like my backup, I guess. At least this location I went to, but you're here for the numbers. Crossroads paid me out $249.25 in trade-in, and that, again, I applied to my trade. Then my balance was $49.72, which I then paid on my card. And then Buffalo Exchange, they only brought in maybe like 5 items. They don't give you, as I said, an itemized receipt, but it does tell me my straight trade was $40.50, which cool. And I'm pretty happy with the haul I picked up, so stay tuned in a couple months for that video. Maybe I'll just give you a sneak peek of some Reformation, which I'd say has gone downhill a little bit, but I'm 100% still picking it up if I can get it cheap, and that wasn't like cheap, but trading credit, which I paid $50 for. Okay guys, that is it for this video. Let me know if you sell stuff to Buffalo Exchange and Crossroads. Also, let me know if you want to see me grab stuff to try and take to Plato's again, because I haven't done that in a while and I'm kind of on the fence about that. But if it's a video you guys would like to see, because I know there are more Plato's closets nationwide than there are these more boutique-y, better, in my opinion, buy-sell trade stores, let me know and I'll consider grabbing some stuff at the bins to try at Plato's again. So that is all for today, and I will see you guys in another video soon. Goodbye.